Welcome to the construction department again, and what we've got here for you is ages and ages ago a local timber supplier gave us a load of materials that to be fair, it's neither use nor ornament to us. We do use it occasionally, but we've got loads and loads of this stuff that was given to us free of charge. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make a planter made out of the materials that we've got. But then what we're going to do, we're going to put these up for sale. So you can buy the kit to make these yourself, following the instructional video that I'm about to make. But you'll be able to donate to the College Rag charity, Make-A-Wish Foundation, via the Just Giving page. And once you've shown me that you can make a donation, the kit will be ready for you to pick up and assemble and put in your own back garden, and then send us some photographs of it all painted up and with whatever plants that you're going to put in it. So basically we've got some tandem groove boarding and some lap boarding that we've been given. It's all pre-cut, it's all cut to size, and you've got these little pieces of wood. So we're going to pop the boarding on top of there, and you want the top of the board level with the end of the lath. And you've got to make sure this board underneath sits in the slot that's already pre-designed for it. Okay, so once we've done that, normally as a bricklayer what I would do is I'd take my screws and I'd screw them straight through the timber. But as the joiners have given me some guidance and support, we don't do that. You have to pre-drill the timber first, otherwise it'll just split and you'll end up wasting your timber. So you're going to need a drill driver that's got a 3mm drill bit in it. You're going to need a screwdriver or a drill bit in a screwdriver. You can interchange these on the drills, you don't need two drills. And you need some 40mm screws, which again, all these things will be provided for you. So once I've got that lined up on there, I'm taking my drill bit and I'm just going to pop a pilot hole only in the top piece of wood. You don't need to go all the way through, otherwise the screw's got nowhere to bite. So then I take my screw, make sure the timber's still lined up, pop that screw in there, and again making sure the timber's pushed up into the little groove that's already been created for it, and pop another screw in. And then I just need to line up this side. Again, top of the board flush with that. Make sure it's all pushed together nicely. Hold it in position. I've got the 3mm drill bit, pilot hole, and send the screws out. Okay, so that's one side already done. And we'll just make the other side as well. So I'm just making sure them are nicely in line. Ooh, hold on. Always do the pilot hole first, otherwise, like I say, your timber will just split and it'll look terrible and it won't have a decent fixing, it'll just fall apart. So again, just pop that underneath there, making sure everything's in line. So that's my two sides done. So they're going to sit sort of like that. And what I've already done, and again these will already be pre-cut for you. The end panels are already cut. So what you're going to have to do there is, again, you've got to line this up So that is there. I'll show you some photographs close up added onto the email so you can see that. But you need just to hold that in position there. It'll actually be easier for you if you drill your pilot hole roughly, well, not exactly in the place that you want it to be, because then it'll be easier for you. So you're going to line that up there. That's about right. Pop the screw there. Make sure that's flush and in line with the top, because you want it to look all the set level across the top. If you don't get it in line with the top of the leg, it's going to be all out askew and it won't look particularly good. So you just got to make sure that that flush, that top of the tongue and groove board is flush with the leg. And whilst I'm holding that with my thumb and keeping it firmly in place, put the pilot hole, start the screw, okay, and then we can turn that round and we're going to do exactly the same. So I'm just going to put the pilot hole on each side again. You just got to make sure that your pilot hole is coming in half the distance of this leg, so that about 22 mil, so you're only coming in 10 or 11 mil. And that's why, because the pilot hole and the screws going so close to the end of the timber, that's where you could get the split. So again, line that up there. And once you've got the two top ones, you can then turn it on end. And these legs will move around a little bit just yet, because until you get the second piece of timber in, it's not going to secure it. So this piece, so you can see where this has got the little lap, and that slides underneath that piece of timber. And you just line your legs up now, hold that piece of timber in place, the cladding, and just line your legs up so they're nice and parallel with the edge of the timber. Pilot hole through there. Screw sent home. That's just moved a little bit, so you're always constantly checking that nothing's moved before you get your fixing in. Obviously, when you do your pilot hole, you've just got to make sure that, obviously I've got a screw already in there, so you've got to make sure that this hole isn't directly above that screw, otherwise it's not going to go in. So you just need to offset that a little bit, so as the screw goes into the timber. Flip that round there. And again, you're just going to have to manipulate the legs to get them square and parallel, otherwise they might want to spring to wherever they want to go, and then it won't look quite as good. Last one. Just going to have to pull that in there, nice and parallel, nice and square. Okay, so as you can see now, we've got a lovely little rectangular planter there that's not quite finished, because obviously at the moment you've got no bottom, and nobody needs to have an empty bottom, do we? So what we need to do now is we just need to put another one of these rails in the bottom edge, so we can drop a floor in so it's going to retain the soil. So all we're going to do is, again, all this timber is going to come in the kit, and you just need to position that flush with where the lap, the groove is on this piece of timber. As long as it's flush there, you're going to get a decent fixing, which I'll show you now. So I'm holding that piece of timber in place, and again, with your 3mm drill, I'm just drilling a pilot hole there, and one at the other end, making sure it's above where the lath is below, otherwise your screw's just going to miss it and it won't fix to nothing. Pop the screws in, and whilst I'm still holding the lath, just send them screws home. Right, so, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Same process, making sure the lath is flush with the groove on the bottom of the timber. Remember, the pilot hole just goes through the first piece of timber. It can't go into the timber below, otherwise the screw won't bite. I know I've said that before, but you'll be surprised at how many times people will just send the pilot hole all the way through. So once you've got that, you've got 2 rails in the bottom. So now what I can do is you just get the timber, and I just need to mark that. Obviously you would use a pencil, and you would mark that, and that needs to be cut. So this will all be pre-cut, as I promised you. Honestly, it will. I won't expect you to do something out of the ordinary. In fact, what I'll do, whilst you're just there, 2 seconds, I'll cut these on the circular saw. Okay, so now I've cut them to length, so you're just going to pop them on the bottom. You'll have 3 in there, and they'll just need, again, the pilot hole drilling, and you're screwing into the rail that's on the floor, the rail that we just put in, and that will stop the base of the planter coming free. Okay? And you do that for the base. So that's your planter made, and now you've got partial flooring. Now the floor isn't solid, and it doesn't need to be. You've got 3 rails that will take the weight of the soil and everything else, but you need gaps, because anybody who's a gardener, and Autic can join in if you want, you need to have that drainage, so the water's got to go. So I've got an old bag here, but I'll get some builder's visqueen to put in the bottom. So literally, you're just going to line the trough, the planter, with your visqueen. It'll all be cut to size. You can cut that off there, and then you can put your soil in there. But you just need to make a few holes in the polythene so the water can drift away. And that'll be cut off nice and flush, and then you can fill it full of soil. Then you can paint it, and then you can stick your plants in, and away you go. So basically, we've got loads of this lying around. I'll machine it all up and make sure it's cut to size and the kits are ready. All you've got to do is go to the Just Giving page for the RAG charity, make a donation of £3 per pot, send me an email with confirmation screen print that you've made a donation to RAG, and then I will arrange with you a time for you to come to construction, collect it off the car park where it'll be waiting for you, and you won't have to come into contact with anybody. So there they are. Let's see how much money we can raise for RAG, and let's see how many staff across the college we can get interested in some construction skills. Thank you very much.